Dumela, good evening again. It's another Friday, Fridays, and good evening again. It's another Friday, Fridays, and I don't know, something is wrong here. Can you hear me, Abuti Tebogo?
Yes, I definitely can hear you. I think it was playing on my background as well. It was repeating what you were saying.
But I think it's better now.
Yes, I think it sounds fine. It sounds fine.
Yeah, it sounds better. Good evening, Dumelang Hape. It's another Friday. Inspirational Fridays with Mahukuluto. And today we are talking unfathered father. I know it sounds like a term, but what is it all about? To everyone who is watching, kindly share the live and also invite people to come, because I believe that today we are on another level that I think everyone has to hear this. Everyone has to take part. Everyone has to comment and share their thoughts and ask questions as far as today's topic is concerned. And before I introduce Abuti Tebogo, ke kopa ho bua ka parenting from a man's perspective. I cancelled the event. We were supposed to have an event on 23 July. It's a discussion, and yeah, because of some difficulties I cancelled. But after the cancellation, I received floods of messages, and we are coming back. I will post about the new date, which is coming soon. And the other thing that I've learned is that it sounded like I was only inviting men. So on the next coming poster that I will post, I am going to make it clear on the poster, okay, it's not for men only, because actually people who need perspective of men when it comes to parenting, it's women. So there's no way I can call a meeting on the perspective of a man and want only men. There's no way. So women needs the man's perspective as far as parenting and other things are concerned. So the next coming poster is going to be clear. And the other thing that I'm going to do is to put in topics that we will be talking about on the day. I think it will also clear the confusion and everything. But we are coming back. We are coming back. Not this month, not next month, because August it's really packed. Everyone has every weekend is it's fully booked. So we are coming back in September. We're going to talk about this parenting and men and how they relate to it, and also as women we will have to discuss other issues around it. So thank you so much. I will post next week. Next week, we are going to talk about that event, that discussion that was supposed to happen. So today we have an author, we have a father, we have a pastor, but he's not going to preach. He's not preaching today. We have a husband, we have a motivational speaker, and we have a senior information specialist at the University of Pretoria. Lebitso la hae ke Abuti Tebogo Sithole. Abuti dumela.
Good evening, Madam Speaker.
O kae?
Ke teng o kae?
I'm good. I'm great. And I'm glad that you are here. And Thank you so much for joining us today. So,
Thank you for having
tell
me.
us, oh, okay. I need to introduce you now with this introduction that I have. So, Abuju Tebogo, as I said, he's a father and he's a husband. He was born and bred in Hammanskraal, Mo Pretoria in Gauteng. And then he graduated from the University of Pretoria with BA in psychology. And also, he wrote a book called Unfathered Father. So, he is actually telling his own story in this book. That is why he is the perfect person to be helping us discuss fathers that were not fathered today in this Asian time. So, Abuti Tebogo, please redumedise and just give us a short introduction into what we are going to look into today.
Okay, thank you so very much, Madam Speaker. Thank you for having me. Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. Indeed, this is just a beautiful day wherein we are definitely going to have a very nice discussion with regards to the issues of parenting. And as I've been introduced, my name, ke Tebogo wa Africa Sithole. I am an author of a very nice, beautiful book titled Unfathered Father. So basically, this is the book that I wrote, titled Unfathered Father. So I speak on the book particularly about a young boy who is angry, who is frustrated, who is bitter, who does not have confidence, filled with a sense of worthlessness, and growing up without a father in a very, very, very unstable family. And very early in his life, at the age of 17, he finds himself in a position wherein he has to become a father. And that's where all my frustration started, because I was fine when I did not have a father, but did not have a responsibility of fathering anyone else.
Yeah.
It's easy to deal with yourself, and you don't have any other responsibility. But the
Mm,
frustration, the pain, the plight started off when I then had to become a father that I did not have. So in the book, I talk about that, the pain, the frustration, the anger, the plight that I had to go through as a boy growing up without a father, then at an early age having to become a father. And I intentionally tell a story, about, absent father and fatherlessness. And I make one statement to say absent father and fatherlessness, based on my observation, based on the research that I've made, it's definitely the greatest pandemic in the 21st century that was able literally to, to ravage and destroy, the entire world. And I insist as well that, absent father and fatherlessness is one of the most urgent issues that we need to deal with. But today, like you said, I want us to go deeper into the journey of how I became a father when I did not have a father. Basically, that's
wow.
what we're going to focus on today.
Okay, I think you gave us a good start. Vele vele hore. Okay. Re kopa he, now that you have highlighted hore, how did you become a father? Let's talk about sorry, let's talk about events that took place before you become a father. And also, how did you become a father?
Oh wow. Okay. so so basically what happened, precisely, I I'm from a family of six, and we
Okay,
grew up in like two room. So the
okay,
most part of my life, I was never at home, because when my father left our home, it then became a toxic environment for
okay.
me. And more than that, it also became a toxic environment in a sense that my mother lost a husband. So
Yeah,
another Madam Speaker, another frustrating thing about absent father is that we think it only affects children, but it does not
yeah.
only affect children, it affects even the partners of those fathers. Like, for
Mm,
example, if my mother had a husband, before me. And then now, when I come into the picture, suddenly my father is no longer interested in my mother and she leaves. So you need to understand what that breeds in women, in my mother. It's a sense of
yeah,
anger, a sense of frustration, a sense of guilt. And I also become an scapegoat, and the reason why his husband left him. Because both
yeah,
papa, they are funny. Before there's a child, they are staying. The relationship is working, it's
yeah,
functional. But then when the
mm,
child comes in, and then suddenly you understand? So
yeah.
so my mother is angry, she's bitter, she
She's
longs for
right.
his husband. Yes, I
Yeah,
long for my father. So the environment, the home on itself, then becomes a toxic environment that I
yeah,
doubt is able to breed children that will contribute positively in society if we don't address these issues. So I was
yeah.
never home. I was never home because it was not a conducive environment. And the most part
Mm,
of my life I spent it cocotiling. So I would stay from one house to another and stay, from coco, committing, and
mm,
that affected a lot of things in me. It affected my confidence, it affected my viewpoint in life. It affected my view on women. Because my mother is bitter, my mother is angry, the treatment cannot be 100% because, as
mm.
well, in the process, she's also a victim. So now,
Yeah.
producer this thing in me of saying, no, women are not fine, but Sari are right. And as well,
Hey,
what was funny as well, Naki first born ya papaka, and then I'm a male child. So my mother, when she looks at me, she
what
sees
is
a
that one?
reprint of my father. So
Yeah.
sometimes intentional or unintentional, and that's what I speak about in the book. To say, when I speak about my mother, to say intentional or unintentionally, she then vents that anger, in me. So
Mm.
the most part, I'm not home. Second to that, I have no regard, no love, no care for women at all because I hate them. Because the woman that I experienced is my mother, and her treatment to me
Hey.
has not been what I want. And Kimotileni, and I'm just doing whatever that I want to do. And I also
Mm.
mentioned I also mentioned in the book that I actually could have easily became a serial killer, particularly of women, because I hated women so much and I wanted to avenge. So I had hatred towards women because my mother is the only parent that is left, and from that woman parent that is only left, I'm expecting something from her. But little did I know that the poor woman as well, she's a victim in the process. She's hating, she's venting anger. So the experience is not conducive, it's not what I want. Then I'm angry
Mm.
towards women. I want to kill women. I want to hate women. I have nothing to do with women. I come to you today, I tell you maybe Kiaurata, Raukwana, we start a relationship, and suddenly I just leave without any announcement. I'm gone.
Yeah.
That has been my it, that has been my pattern. And when I'm writing this book, I ask myself, made them speak out, the way I was feeling about the absence of my father and the treatment that I received from my mother. Could it be then that most men who are fatherless are also experiencing the same thing, and they did not reach a point of understanding, or this thing, it's a disease, it's a pandemic, and it's a problem that they need to deal with? So if I had that hatred towards women, I wanted to beat women, I wanted to kill women, I had no regard for women, I treated women as object. If that is exactly how other men and other boys are feeling, then it's easy for us to know why another problem is gender-based violence, because research has
Yeah.
proven that most houses are not that. So if most houses that don't have fathers, the situation is the same as mine, and they're feeling exactly the way I am feeling. I'm
Well,
scared to be in this country. I'm very scared.
sure.
So fast forward, I have no regard for women, and then I meet this woman, and when I meet her, she was polite towards me. She was polite. She was genuine. She was loving, and the poor woman shame. She did everything a woman can do to
Mm.
attract the man, and she was also very young, almost the same age as myself. But another thing, Madam Speaker, when you grow up without a father, when you grow up almost in the street and did not receive love from your mother, the other problem is you don't know how to receive love. Even if when
From
love is presented from anyone, even when love is
yeah.
presented, you don't know how to interpret love. You don't see love. So you are on survival instinct, because the only person that you can trust is yourself, because you only had yourself. So poor
Wow.
woman gives love to me, and I'm not able to interpret that. I'm not able to appreciate that. Sometimes you self-sabotage. Someone intentionally and genuinely loves you, but because of the environment that you grew up, how can you appreciate that? But
Yes.
later on, we started, becoming intimate, and she tells me she's pregnant, and
Yes.
that's where my world stopped. I became
Yeah.
so frustrated. So
Wow.
frustrated. I'm a young boy. I am frustrated. I am angry. I feel unloved. I feel unappreciated. I feel guilty. Somehow I feel like my father left my mother because of me. I feel like it is Tematada in the family. And now I have to become a father. And I say in the book that a boy that needed love, appreciation, care, and comfort now is faced with the responsibility of becoming a father. So my world stopped. And the first thing I thought
So
about was abortion. I said,
obvious.
I can't handle this. I can't handle this. I don't want this.
Yeah.
I don't understand family. I've never seen a father coming back home. I've never been in an environment. I get able hey papa to I get hey papa in myself. I have my internal struggles, less
Yeah.
confident, less of a man. The only thing that I understand is violence. The only thing that I
Yeah.
want is survival instinct. I trust myself, no one else. I speak to you today,
You.
come I ghost you because I know I have myself. Because it's
Mm-mm.
my father. And my interpretation is that if my father, my biological father, left me, then who wants to be with me? You
Wow.
understand? No one wants to be if my father leaves me. So these are the
Oh
feelings
my.
say young boys and girls grow up with to say if my biological father saw a need to leave me, then I am worthless. I am unappreciable. I am unlovable. No one can love me if my biological father left me. So, can we say that absent father and fatherlessness, the pain that it inflicts on children, and the kind of environment the environment and a country that we are breeding? So, I don't trust this woman. I think and I make it clear. Make them speak Urban. I don't want to have a child. We are going to do abortion. Yeah, respectfully, we went to the hospital once. They gave us an appointment. Then the second time, when the real thing was supposed to happen, we go there, and then we are on the queue. And I remember a covenant that I made. When I remember one day when I came back, from the street, my friends told me that I don't have a father. I remember watching the situation so high and the rough, part that I went through, and I made a covenant to myself to say I will never want to do anything with my father. In other words, I don't want to become a replica of my father. I want to
Oh,
become
yes,
total
yes.
opposite of my father. That's the covenant that I took. So hardly more benching, going through a hospital, and then something hits me, and at that point, I discovered that I can't do this. So I did not know how to do it. I was emotionally not ready, financially not ready, physically not ready, psychologically not ready. Everything, all the ologies, I was logically not ready for this person because I know nothing. But I was like, okay, it's fine. And the woman was insisting, let's not abort. We'll come up with a plan. And I heeded to her plea. And I said, okay, no, it's fine. Let's go back home and we'll see what we do. We took that money and the rates for Ella. We went, we bought food, and we went back home. And that's how I then became a father, and my journey of becoming a father started right then.
Yes. You know, it's I can say I don't know what to say, but what I can say for it, the way you explained everything, it really makes a lot of sense, and it clarifies a lot of things that when you're in a relationship with someone, he doesn't come to the party that he initiated. How
Definitely.
Mutu Onana said he loves me, but he can't communicate, he doesn't communicate, he throws tantrums and Kanti, the issue behind his attachment with you as a woman comes
Yeah,
from a place you know nothing about.
exactly. Madam Speaker Born. Um, children are socialized. Children are socialized into environment. In other words, they are taught how they should become adults, right? So now,
Mhm.
if my relationship with the first woman that I met was not conducive and was filled with too many things, then I'm not able to relate to you. And as men, whether you grew up without a father or not, particularly if you grew up without a father, you do have love for an individual. That is why even perpetrators of gender-based violence, which are men, you if you interview victims of gender-based violence, they will tell you something that is shocking. They will tell you what this man loves me. There's no doubt
Mm,
about that. There's no doubt about that. But the fact that they love you does not mean they're able to relate to you.
yes.
Right? They love you, but anytime when they come across any challenge, insecurities, their first instinct is to reply violent manner because of guilt, feeling of loneliness, feeling of low self-esteem.
Yeah, ke a utlwa, mara your network is cutting now. I think network ya Abuti Tebogo, it's giving him problems. Screen size
How to do
freeze it. He will come back. Yeah, your network gave us a little bit of a problem there, but
okay, all right.
no, I do get you because honestly speaking, my honestly something that's shocking. O tlo kopana le a lady a tshwere ngwana newborn a sena ntate wa hae.
Sure.
The first question I always asked myself ke hore, what happened? How did these two people have a child if immediately when this child arrives on earth, one of them is no longer part of the three?
Sure, sure,
And
sure.
now I hear you well when you say, when you hear that she's pregnant, there's a lot of things coming to you to say, I am not ready. I am not. And I think that's why most women have a story of, when I told him that I'm pregnant, he said, go for abortion. Yes, yes,
That's
yes.
the first instinct. That's the first instinct. I am enjoying sex. I am enjoying being with you. But when it comes to taking the responsibility,
I can't. I cannot. So yeah. I really, really, really get your point. I get what you're saying, and it's so scary. As Abuti Tebogo is will come back. Network ya high. I don't know what's happening, but it looks like it's giving him and a lot of problems. And I saw a message on my Facebook. Someone is asking hore na o joina jwang. All you have to do is to go to my page, go to my wall, and watch us there and comment from that platform also. Yeah, Abuti Tebogo, we lost Abuti Tebogo, but he will come back. He will come back and we will continue with the conversation. And before he comes back, I just want to say, uh, we really need to do better as a country, as people. I think everyone has to play their role. Everyone has to do something about the situation. There's a trend that we always say, hore, hurt people, broken people break other people. So when you know, hore, nna as an individual, this is what I'm suffering from. These are my personal So I'm sorry about that. Abuti Tebogo called me, so ke sebedisa phone for calls and this live, and he just experienced load shedding. So the computer he was using locked off. If possible, he said he's going to restart. He will see if it comes back, or if it doesn't, we will continue with today's topic. But we will have him back. Definitely, we will have him back. So I was saying that one thing that Abuti Tebogo mentioned is that fatherlessness is the greatest pandemic that we are facing as a country, as societies, because as he narrates his story, we think that single parenting, we think that a man who left a family only affects the children. But what he said, according to the experience he had, is that it also affects the woman who lost a man or a husband, you know. And when this woman is trying to heal from the loss of a husband, she has to wake up every day and every morning and deal with a son or a child of the same man who left. And some of these children looks exactly like their fathers. So she's angry, she's hurt, she's broken, she's confused at some point. And when she relates to these children, it's not really a healthy it's not a healthy relationship. She takes out all this anger of the person who left Mobane. And the very same children are also expecting her to bring the best version of herself to them, to be a mother, to love them, to look after them, and to do everything in her power to protect them. And at the same time, they are also longing and grieving their father who left. So it's a mixed, that is why most of the time they call it a dysfunctional family, because everyone has a wound they are trying to heal, they are trying to understand, and because of whatever that is, or that may happen, they are they are not even aware that him not being here, it's affecting us in a bad way. So back. So I will urge everyone for let's be sensitive to the wounds that may have been caused by anything that happened between our parents. Because some are in families where the father is present, but it's a toxic and dysfunctional family. So to avoid having to deal with, as Abuti Tebogo said, the way he felt, if most men who have the same experience as he had felt the same way, then we are far from ending gender-based violence. So let's try by all means to be self-aware, so that when we act or react to some situations, we are really sure where I am as far as life is concerned. And if I'm going to be in a relationship with a lady or with a man, am I ready? Do I have the capacity to stand what's going to come with this relationship? And also, will I be able to stand what this man or woman is going to come with? So you are back. How long do you think your computer will last?
It will last for forever. I hope. So basically, I'm sorry about that. So I think we're on generator. So I think
Yeah.
electricity then came back, and then automatically the system just switches back to normal.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
So
So yes.
now you come back. Usolintate, you're going to be a father, unemployed. I don't know how. Even very. You know what? You are still trying to understand. Did I even make the right decision by stopping this process? Then what happens when you come back and then now you are expecting?
Madam Speaker, born in the first place, not that akina ko high. So I'm staying almost in the street.
Yes, yeah,
Almost in the street. Um, ki, ki, I moved from one house to another.
yeah.
Yeah, and kinna committee, you understand? And to make even matters worse, and what is even more juicy about Mugozi in my book is the fact that my is the fact that the woman that is to be the mother of my child, she had a child a year before I came into her life. Ke kry-a ngwana ola a le just few months, about a year, right?
What?
So
Yeah.
so for me to become for me to become a father, I'm not only becoming a father of one. I grew up without a father. I am frustrated. I am angry. I have no place. I have no acceptance of what it is to become a father. I have no idea. And if I make a decision that I'm going to become different from my father, which is what I want to do, then I must be ready not to become a father of one, but simultaneously a father of two. Do you know what
What?
that means? Do you know what that means? That means I'm not only going to deal with me and my internal struggles of becoming a father just to this child limau.
Mm,
It means there are other families that are involved. Ke papa ngwana ola that I'll have to deal with,
yo.
right? It's and
Mm,
it's the absence of my father, is myself not having a home, and
yeah,
it's me also trying to love a woman because I have no love appreciation of for any woman. In fact,
yeah,
a
yeah.
hatred, particularly towards women. So I have to I have to collect myself. I have to deal with the father. I have to deal with myself. I have to deal with the fact that I'm going to have a child. I have to deal with the fact that the relationship between Nali Mamaga is not right. Do you understand what black men have to deal with? There are too many dynamics. Ke ngwana bo papa ngwana, ke papa ngwana, ke mamolo, ke rakgadi, it's the dynamics. It's too complex. That is why absent father is very high within black people as compared to colored Indians and white people.
Mm, mm, mm.
And that also speaks to why Matata Amanchi, within black people. So that when we speak about this issue of present father in black families, we need to rethink and consider all these other dynamics that comes into play. It's not like a white family. A white family, they only deal ka monna le papa. Ha ona bo rakgadi, ha ona bo rakgadi a malome, ha ona bo
Yes.
kgadi wa kgasi, ba ba
Mm,
influence hang ora. So you understand why also these statistics they differ. So I have to deal with that. And now I am a father. I have no place to stay. And I had to decide
mm.
overnight, one, I must try to rebuild myself. I had
Yeah.
to I had to confess what I am inadequate. I easy to become a father. I am going to become a father, but I don't know how to become that.
Hey, yeah.
And I have to do the best because I don't want to become like my father.
Mm,
So
mm.
one, I had to equip myself overnight. I had to start reading. I had to start observing fathers. I had to start collecting myself. I had to grow up and man up overnight, just so that I don't become like my father and have to experience what I experienced, because I knew that no one had to experience what I experienced.
What
And
you
it was it was a roller coaster. It was a roller coaster. I had while my wife is pregnant with that one. Now
mm.
I'm already fathering. That one is not born. I'm around to pay.
Eh,
So you
kweme,
you are around to pay. You are around. So before that one comes, yours, you have to deal with this one.
eh.
You have to deal with this one because you sort of what it requires. You must tune yourself up with this one.
Eh,
The day I
you?
decided I'm not aborting, that day I came back from the hospital, I had to become a father.
Yes.
That
Now,
day,
like, on a
I had to
serious
become a
note
father.
now.
I had to become a father here and then, and I have no place. So I had to start miracle. I had to start looking for money. I had to start doing businesses. I had to start hustling. When I was in high school, I remember I had to go to school in Kirekisa and all that because, on the other hand, I knew. I knew that I needed to finish school. I knew I had dreams. I knew that I needed to be in university. I needed to be a graduate. I needed all those things. And I knew if I give up now, I just leave everything and then I'm going to fail. So I had to juggle. I had to juggle. So you juggle work, you juggle being a young boy, you juggle the stigma in the community. Oh my God, the stigma in the community. Then you have to do the stigma in the community. So okay, so now he is going to become a father. Ana papa by misani ke bana ba sekolo. You have to deal with all that. But one thing
Hey,
that kept me focused, I knew I don't want to become like my father. And I knew that I don't want my children to have to go through what I went through.
what you went
L-
through.
Madam Speaker, ladies and gentlemen, listen to me, particularly gentlemen. It is never going to be an easy way to father your children, especially with the dynamics that we have in the black community. I said it and I'm saying it over and over again. Irrespective of any circumstance, how you have to be there. Whether o le mahae, o kwata le family ya hae, rakadi ya hae, ngwana maloma ko kwa rakadi ya mamogolo wa hae, but ngwana kwa hao.
Yo,
The child
ngwana
is
ke wa
yours.
hao.
And I had to juggle how and how re o khatlisa batho ba bang or o gobatsa batho ba bang o heta batho ba bangwe ka o se be present ka o se mo providele or ba utlwisa you are coming back to the mother why it's king in the process ngwana wa go balang kwa mali say this when two elephants are fighting it's
The
always the
crown.
ground that suffers.
Mm.
So when I was only busy how I see that woman in the process, the person that is going to bear more damage, that is going to become dysfunctional, that is most likely
Wow.
to end up in jail, that is most likely to become a rapist, that is most likely to become a dropout, that is most likely not to be employed, that is going to become miserable.
Wow, yeah. You know, when we talk about teenage parenting, most of people that we focus on ke banyana. But today, like I am like speechless to hear a guy telling us his story. And I couldn't believe I'm a teen mom, ne? And I was involved with a young boy. So what you are saying takes me back full, like a full force, because Leona,
Sure.
he was not raised by his father. He was raised by his mom. You know what? And exactly as you tell your story, it is what it is. Leona, he was
Exactly.
like, ah, ah. And he was never there. He was never. Because now it makes sense when you are telling it, hore, "Ke tletse jwang? Nna, ke tletse jwang?" And funny enough, in my story,
Exactly.
ne, he left school. In my story, he left school and he said, "I'm going to work for my child," but I have never seen him.
Sure.
I, so it really really opens up to what really the perspective of you guys, depending on your own experience, because you cannot give what you are not or what you do not have.
Definitely.
Hi, we're gonna have you back. You have to come back.
it's a it's a lot, Madam Speaker. That it's a lot. It's a lot when we try to speak about fathers becoming present. There's a whole lot of plethora, a whole lot of things that are there that we need to deal with, and we need to take it one
Mm,
step at a time. And
mm,
previously what our society, what our government has decided to do, but decided, Lord, they are not going to engage a man, they're not going to listen to a man, they're not going to hear what is the problem of a man. The only thing that they're going to do to a man, by law, a perpetrator, jail him, take him out of the society. But that thing, it has proven that it is not working. And I think it's about high time that we start this discourse, that we start these discussions with men to try to understand their perspective. How do you feel about yourself? How do you feel about becoming a father? How do you feel because you grew up without a father? Without being judgmental, take men, sit them down and say, guys, let's talk. Tell us. We want to understand you. This time around, we are not in the business of lambasting you. We are not in the business of thrashing you. We are not in the business of that. We want to help. And we want you guys to tell us. And that is why in my book, The Perspective It's Young, I'm not taking a blaming perspective. I say to men, look, it's okay. You grew up without a father. You are abused. You are abandoned. You felt unappreciated. You were a mess. But let's make a conscious decision. For the mess that we are, we should not recycle that into the next generation, because we have seen over and over and over and over again that absent father and fatherlessness is a negative impact in the society. So we are a mess. It's okay, but are we? Do we want to recycle that mess? Right? Recycle that. We are not perfect. I'm not a perfect father. I cannot say I'm a perfect father. I'm still struggling. I'm still learning. But if I become present to my children now with my shortcomings, with my mistakes, then they will have a better. They will have a better. Then I will have started a seed of a clean generation. A seed. Exactly, a pattern that will work, because it's proven over and over again that absent father and fatherlessness, it's toxic, it's a crisis, it's a pandemic, it's the cause of all the problems. I can tell you, madam speak, all the problems that we have, including your gender-based violence, is the direct source, of fatherlessness. Because every absent father, it produces anger, it produces dropout cost column. That absent father, it's an indicator of children. They become pregnant. Research it proved 60 to 70% of girls that becomes pregnant on their teens are girls that comes from absent fathers' homes that do not have fathers. So we can see this thing is disruptive. It's a crisis. It's dangerous. Juvenile delinquents, research is 60% to 70%. Juvenile delinquents, they come from families where there are no fathers. So all these problems that you can think about, they go back into the fact that you have absent fathers. And I know with myself how I felt about that, and I could have become a potential dangerous person, serial killer, rapist, anything I would have become had I not been conscious of it.
You know what? I am emotional. I don't want to lie. I am down today because it's deep, man. It's deep. It's personal.
It's very emotional.
It's no, sitting here, I can see a lot of people who are you but did not make it.
The thing is, you don't make it until you are aware of it. Like we have boys, we have men who grew up in my situation, and the only thing they wanted to come out of the situation. So by sharing my curriculum, they became big. They have big money, they have big power, they have big influence, but they are hating inside. So they will misuse women, they will treat women as objects. So as big as they are, because of this whole thing is that is big dog targeting. So this thing does not take. It's not that because you are educated, you have thing, then yeah. So that is why it's across. It's across. Man, I'll be chat right, but
yeah. Today could have hobby. I don't want to lie.
So this issue, it's this issue is a national security issue. If we turn a blind eye to absent father and fatherlessness, we might not addressing it. We should be ready to lose everything because it affects everything. It affects everything.
No. We are already suffering. We are already.
We're suffering.
We are already suffering.
We are suffering. when you look at it, Madam Speaker, you also realize that people who are victimizing the next generation, they were actually victims as well in the process. So it's a vicious cycle of victimization that we need
Mm.
to take a conscious decision to or reface. Because look, for example, akina papa, ke kopana le wena a una papa. We all become so even marriages are suffering. You have a man that you can see that this man loves me. Mara hona le lo tse ding a o di tlhaloganye ka yena. Ke mess le yena
And
he
he
has
can't even
money.
explain.
He's a business person. Only everything, but he does not know how to do this thing.
Yo, you know what, ne? Ki 7 already. Ki kupa o kgutle next week because like right now we are at your teenage. Ha re so fihle kwa, ha re so fihle. So we didn't do anything as far as an unfathered father is concerned.
It's concerned.
Next week. So now give us shortly final remarks, just close and re tlo kopana next week and Linda I need to
It's 4 sessions because it's deep.
it's
Look,
fine.
we can go into each and every we can go into each and every detail. We can go to gender-based violence. We can go into women. We can go into crime. Research is 60%. 60% they are perpetrators that crimes. They come from they come from homes without fathers. So it means crime is not a problem. It's absent father that is the biggest problem. So when you fix absent father, you don't have to fix crime. When you fix absent father, you don't have to fix gender-based violence. When you fix absent father, you don't have to fix behavioral problems, the mental health, the angry behaviors, the bullying and all those things. The root cause is this thing. Because our statistics see that is related to absent fathers says Tamayang less than 50%. It is 60%. This morning I shared a quote about suicide. South African research has proven that 70% of people that commit suicide are people with a background without fathers.
Aye.
So when you want to talk about suicide, if 60% Yamato committed suicide, they come from fatherless homes. So it means if you put fathers, it means you can reduce suicide with 60%.
Yes. Yeah.
You understand? So it's huge. It's brought all the problems. I make a bold statement in the book, and I am telling you, I might be pioneering this, but I'm telling you, the next generation will see, will know, and the government will know indeed that the biggest problem and the root cause of all the problems as it stands now, it's nothing else. It's not racism. It's not war. It's not gender-based violence. It's not economy. It's not poverty. It's nothing. It is absent fact. How come the problems that are bred by the fact that then you realize, let's even when we talk about education, research is 60%. They drop out. They come from absent fathers' homes, and it makes a lot of sense because one environment easily became a dropout.
Yeah.
I failed twice, and that information is in the book. I failed one grade twice because I never had hope. I was always on the street, so I could have easily became a dropout.
Yeah.
So you talk about education, you talk present father, you talk about social development, you talk about present father. So if fathers can resume and take back position Yabon, I'm telling you, all the problems that we are having will definitely come to an end. In my closing remarks, I am saying absent father and fatherlessness, as I've been saying, is the greatest pandemic, is the greatest crisis, Madam Speaker. You know what? That has managed to threaten national security. The national security of a country is a threat from education, from crime, from gender-based violence, from all these things as a result of absent fathers. I am saying that we need to be aware that as a country, as Africa, as the world, we have a crisis of absent fathers. And what we need to do, we need to ensure that we have present fathers. And at this point in time, I'm not even really interested in the kind of fathers. We'll come back and discuss that. What I want now, I just want fathers to be present. Let them be present, and then we'll deal with the kind of fathers later on. Because essentially, in their absence, things are worse. So let's have present fathers to all the boys, to all the men, to all the fathers. If unaliwana anywhere, I don't care about the circumstance. I don't care if you have money, you don't have money. I don't care if Hamu Wanyana Oba Rata. if ulele matswala, if ulele cousin, ulele in. I just want you to make a decision to say, look, irrespective of whatever that is happening, I am going back and I'm going to reconcile with my child. And this thing of saying mama ngwana hanya ke ka ngwana, it must come to an end. We must fight for our children. We must fight for our children. Whether one year or hanya, fight, because you are a father and you understand that your absence more prolonged by one is not going to do any justice. Ngwana o tlo feletsa le tronko, o tlo feletsa le pregnant le ngwana, e tlo feletsa le victim ya rape, e tlo feletsa le victim ya gender, le perpetrator ya metholo yotlhe. So as men, we need to force to be present in the life of our children. This thing of being romantic, yeah, you must force. It's your child, you understand? And the research is here is telling you that your absence, what is it that is going to do to that? Force. Why it going to happen later? Why it going to happen later? You know, we must force to become part and parcel. Whether really whether my force. When how I eat papa can happen later or come gating happen later and then that thing on itself will be heading towards a right direction of rebuilding this nation, of grooming and breeding children that will become independent, that will become confident, and that will contribute positively into a society. And ultimately, we are going to have a society that we desire. Definitely.
Yeah, no man. Next week. That's 6.
Madam Speaker, definitely.
This is
I know I'm dead. I am dead.
Right now, this live on our face to face, on our next, please join us on the panel. Please join the panel.
I am there. I'm not missing it. I'm not missing it.
This is just, it's a lot. And I so wish le rona banyana bomme can hear you well, because babang vele, I have a lot of men that are crying, basnang access.
You see?
So
you see?
why what? So
it's an element to this, because how access ya ngwana wena o la ya ntatola ha o la yena go bala ngwana hao in the process wena feletsa le ngwana the potential rapist is a potential serial killer. Le he aka ya sekolong a kra degree ya bankare o sharp o tlo abuse mosadi ha ya ntsa motsere in secret. We condemn gender-based violence with all strongest term, but he's a perpetrator in secret.
No, I hear you well. Thank you so much. Thank you very much. You took me back to my 14-year-old self. I don't want to lie. You took me back. You just, it's unfortunate because and the man that I have children with is no more. So because I feel like he was misunderstood. Even me, the story that I have, Kayena, it's a story that did not think what he was going through all this time.
Exactly.
So if he was here, I was taking him out as like, but he's not.
Sure.
Yeah, because I'm understanding him clearer now when you tell your story. Or no one thought, is he coping? Now is he fine? Like how? Okay. Good night.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Thank you so much for hosting me.
Thank you so much.
I'm looking forward to next week. So we have more of this conversation, and slowly but surely, you know what, go on and deal with these issues. We definitely will reach a point wherein we look back and we realize that we've made a very good contribution, and we have advanced and I'm telling you, black men, as much as they're absent, there's a generation that is growing up that is wanting to become present, and the more we address these issues, slowly but surely will breed a generation will look back and realize that a black generation, a black nation is growing up because they have very good, nice support. They are confident. They can compete competently with all other people anywhere in the world. Definitely.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Whew, yeah.
It's a pleasure.
To everyone that joined us today, thank you so much. Thank you so much. And I don't know if you are me, but today I saw myself, my story was just painted here. And I thank God this day and this moment and this initiative, because women like me have learned and will learn a lot. And to everyone, as I said, or if Mntate wa bana ba ka was still alive, I was going to sit down with him and talk through for 18 years back and talk about that and talk about what happened and talk about how he felt, how that affected him. And anyone that can do that right now with your baby daddy, please reach out. Please just try to get to understand what he is going through, what makes him inconsistent, ask about present, you know what he is. Just sit him down and ask, what makes you be like this? Because he was not like that. I don't believe there's a man who was always like that, and you finally became a mother of his son or his daughter. Never. And now, as I close, Abuti Tebogo has this book called Unfathered that explains clearer of the things that he touched today and the things that he will touch going forward.
Yeah.
Kindly reach out to him. And I saw a post of a lady who said she's reading the book in pieces because she's been crying throughout the entire book. So let's, especially Rona, who are, even not especially, as long as you are raising a child, make sure that you get the book, because it's going to help you navigate where your child is, even if it's a
Exactly.
girl. It's going to help you navigate, and you will step up and do the right thing to your child, for your child, and your relationship with your children will be better and perfect. Thank you so much. Good night. Let's meet next week at 6. Right here, we are continuing with Abuti Tebogo. Today we just touched his birth, his childhood,
Introduction.
his teenage years. Ha re so fihle moo. Ha re so fihle. So we are going to go step by step, and re tla bona next week re fella kae. Let's just wait for next week and let's reach out. Let's talk more inbox. Let's talk more on the comments, and let's see which questions we can answer. Thank you so much. Have a blessed weekend. Goodbye. Bye bye.
Thank you so
Thank
much. Good night. Bye.